I'm living in the past. Listen, I understand what it's like to want to live in the past. All right? You're talking to a guy that just got done changing the crank position sensor on my wife's car. Twice! Oh, my Lord. The time it took me to change this crank position sensor, I could have rebuilt my entire 77 Ford Thunderbird engine. I'm not kidding. I fucking had it, man. I fucking had it. My dream is to just own a 1960s Ford pickup. Done. I don't care. Inline 6, 3 on the tree. That's all. That's all I want. Once my son turns 7 years old, and I don't have to have him in some cockamamie car seat for the rest of his fucking life. I see kids in car seats. They go from car seats onto their bicycle with a helmet on. What do you gotta wear a helmet until you're 13 years old? Holy mackerel! Why don't you just castrate American kids, huh? Huh? Why don't you just cut their nuts off right now? Kids walking around with man purses around here. Ah, damn it. Get out of my country. I gotta get out of the country. Anyway. You know, but you can't live in the past. It's sad. Listen, guys, go out and get yourself a PS4, okay? I'm gonna be honest with you. When I bought my PS4, it sat down in my basement like a slab of fucking granite. It's like it didn't even exist. I wouldn't go near it. I had 10 games for the PS4 before I'd even play one. I bought the games before I even bought the console. But I tell you what, you just can't live on old memories. You can't do it. You can do it, but it's a sad existence. How do you open this fucking coffee cup? You got to create new memories for yourself. And now, I started playing the PS4. I basically almost gave up on it before I played Sign More X. And this is a game I thoroughly enjoyed. Yeah. Decent game. But I'll tell you what. It wasn't until this game right here where I really got excited about playing my PS4. Well, I was at work. And I was like, oh man, you know, I'm in this fucking nightmare from hell job. But when I come home, I'll play a little Skyforce. Huh? Oh yeah. And it's actually, chalk it up as the first game that I played with my son where he actually started to understand how the buttons worked. God bless him. The first game I ever played with my son was Tatsujin. Oh, Lord. But, yeah, we actually sat down together and we played Skyforce. And wow, it was really fun. He started to get the concept that you don't have to use two hands to use the D-pad, which was great. So he was shooting with one hand, and his other hand was able to move the ship back and forth. And he actually plays. This is fascinating to me. Play video games with a child, with a 3-year-old. It's fascinating. They sit there and they play, and then they turn and they start talking to you. Like, he started holding a conversation with me. And I'm like, hey, buddy, what are you doing? Christ almighty, you're supposed to be stressed out here. No. Alright, listen, guys. I don't like to recommend games for the PS4 because I'm like some Johnny-come-lately. I don't know anything about the machine. I don't know anything about the games. But I know something about a good shooter. I'll tell you that right now. And if I'm going to recommend you a shooter that you go out and you buy right now, it's Skyforce Anniversary. Wow. Wow. What can you say about Skyforce? I'll tell you right now. It's like a mixture of a top-down vertical shooter and Super Mario World. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I didn't read that in any other review, I'll tell you right now. Sip of coffee for that one. Oh yeah. Sweating my nuts off in here. I swear to God, I drank like a whole bottle of wine last night. I have all these bottles of wine left over from Christmas. I went out to eat at over my sister-in-law's. I grabbed this fucking cheap bottle of fucking Pinot Grigio somebody bought. Actually, I bought. I bring it over to my sister-in-law's house. I love how you come through the door with a cheap bottle of wine. Listen, everybody knows it's Beringer. All right? I love how everybody looks at it like, oh, I can't stand people anymore. So I'm just like, listen, I brought this bottle of wine over. I said, it's a cheap bottle of wine. I said, just crack it open. I said, she's like, oh, I got wine. She comes out with her like this expensive bottle of wine. I said, you don't know. You don't get the point. I brought over this cheap bottle of wine because nobody's going to drink it at my house. I said, I'm bringing it over to save you $1. So crack open this cheap bottle of wine. I'll drink the cheap shit and you keep your expensive wine. I'm doing you a favor. Next thing you know, the bottle, it's not only that, it's like this big bottle. You know you're in trouble when your wine bottle has a fucking handle on it. It's like a jug. We crack open this bottle of wine, all right? Next thing you know, everybody's fucking drinking out of it. You know, people are so funny like that. And it's not just one glass of wine. People are pounding this wine down. You know what? Can we all just be honest, for God's sake? You think anybody could say, oh, this is good wine? It's like, hey, Doris, you're on your 5th glass. You want to let everybody know it's good wine now? Anyhow. No, I gotta move out of the country. Here we go. Skyforce. What's beautifully refreshing about Skyforce is, I mean, you start playing, it's so ferociously simple. Yet you still have to figure it out. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. You basically have one button you gotta press to fire, which is great. But you start out on level 1, and I was getting so frustrated because I was collecting all these power-ups. It was telling me gun power-up, and all that was happening is my little main cannon was going a little bit faster and a little bit faster. So I'm thinking to myself, is this it? I'm trying to power up this gun. I mean, I'm getting to the end of the first level, and I can't understand why my main gun's not like fully powered up yet. It frustrated the hell out of me. I'm like, because the graphics were gorgeous. The graphics are absolutely gorgeous. The water effect, I mean, they did such a beautiful job on the art style in this game. It's fucking great. It's great. It's got this slow pace. You ready for this? Yeah. Slow pace. A slow pace shooter in 2008 in almost 19. It's just what I'm looking for. Now, it has a slow pace, but when you find out, when you clear the level, it's almost like Super Mario World, where sure you beat the level, right? You went through the goal. You beat the you ran through the goal posts, so to speak. But then you can go back in the level and find the gold star, right? Well, here with this game, you beat the first level, sure, but you can go back. There's like 5 different things you can do you can eliminate all the enemies. You could try to go through the level without getting hit. You can try to rescue all the guys on the floor. There's all sorts of missions to accomplish or achievements to get, say, on the first level, right? And you can pick up, when you shoot enemies down, they leave stars behind. You pick up the stars and you use it for currency. You can go back to the hangar and upgrade your ship. So I cleared out the first level, and I move on to the second level. And the second level is a bit harder. Boy, oh boy, I'm really making this fucking boring, huh? So the basic idea is the levels get harder, but then you can go back to the hangar and upgrade your ship. And the upgrades are relatively subtle, but they're permanent. Once you pay for them, you have them, which is nice. And then it's like unlimited continues. So you can keep on going, right? So, in other words, it's impossible to clear out all the achievements on the first level with the firepower that you have. It's virtually impossible, right? So the board is set up so it can be slow. They'll fly a bomber out over here, and then a formation of planes will come out over here. So you're over here trying to gun down the bomber while a formation might be getting away. Later on, as you upgrade your weapons, you can come back to level 1 and have upgraded weapons and say, okay, I can get that bomber. I can hit these guys coming over here, and I can get the little guy that's driving around on the Zodiac boat underneath. And next thing you know, boom, you've killed every enemy on the level, and you've cleared that achievement. More achievements help you progress and get to higher levels. Wow. This makes replayability so fun. And it's so here you are, you're playing a shooter, but a shooter where you have to grind to upgrade. But the upgrades you keep. Fantastic concept. Oh my God. Can I tell you guys right now? I'm at my miserable fucking job, and I can't wait to get home to play Skyforce. I can't wait to go home and figure out how I'm going to get my wife either out of the house or over to her to do anything or take a nap so I can sit down and start playing this game. And I started playing it with my son, and it was a wonderful time passing the joystick back and forth. I can't even begin to tell you. This is the first shooter that I've played in a long time where I just can't wait to continue playing it. I'd love to play it right now. If I wasn't doing this cockamamie show, I'd be in my house playing a fucking video game right now. We're talking about the sound. I can't emphasize the sound is beautiful. You know, there's a guy. You know, you shoot certain certain enemy combinations, and the guy comes on. It's real arcadey, nice, wonderful, superb. You know. This type of thing, you hear a woman's voice every time you get a power upgrade. Very reminiscent of, say, like a Sega Saturn shooter. Has that arcade feel. The music is great.
Weapon upgrade.
Nice.
Weapon upgrade. Weapon upgrade.
The music is great. It really is. It's very relaxing, but it's upbeat. It's very electronic. I love it. I think the music's great. The graphics are amazing. Lush trees, water scenes, towers, like scrolling underneath you that you could blow up. Explosions are incredible.
Stage complete.
I mean, you blow up this, like, it's like a nuclear facility, and it's like you blow the reactor top off, and the reactor top comes flying up at the screen. It's a wonderful effect, and these huge explosions. I mean, some of these bombers that you take down, as you're shooting them, they start streaming like black smoke. So next thing you know, you're fighting a huge bomber that's the size of the screen, and it's just leaving these streamers of black smoke. It looks beautiful, and then when you shoot them down, the planes go down like careening into the water. And then splash down and explode in the water. Wonderful art style. And the sound, the cannon sounds and things of this nature. The tanks, I mean, it's like highly mechanized vehicles. So you don't understand what I'm saying to you here? With the sounds to match. You know, you hear the planes come in. You know, you almost like you would imagine like a B-52 flying through. Oh man, this is top notch. It's top notch. So many shooters that I've played, modern day shooters, feel cheap. Do you understand? This game doesn't feel cheap. It feels very simplistic, which is fine, but it doesn't feel cheap. Some of the plane patterns. It reminds me so much of an old school shooter mixed with a modern shooter, because some of the planes come out and they fly in almost Gallagher formations. And not everything is shooting at you, which is great. Some of the planes just fly formation, so the goal is to try to shoot down the planes. It's not to... The goal of this game is to shoot down everything, not to try to stay alive. Okay? Do you understand how stress relieving that is? There are some shooters where everything is gunning for you. It isn't like that here. This one, it's more like you're trying to shoot down everything on the screen. The bullets fired on the screen are very slow from the enemies. You have time to think. You have time to, you got a bullet shot over here. Can I get over here to shoot this pattern of enemies over here? And because of the speed of the bullets, it lends itself to the scale of the game. The scale of the game is if everything feels very big. Your ship is very small. Other ships are relatively small. The shots fired are slow, so it makes you feel like you're on on a bigger scale, a more. Oh my God. It's like my brain is rotten at this point in my life. I used to be able to articulate so well when I was in my 20s. I was sharp, on the ball, fast. Now it's just like my brain's like molasses. Jesus Christ, what I'm trying to tell you is it's very relaxing shooter, but very exciting at the same time. And the other thing is you get the coins. You get a magnet. There's like part of your weapon system. You can upgrade your magnet, which attracts, these stars as you shoot enemies. So the more powerful your magnet is, the further the more you can magnetize stars that are far away, so they come to you. The more money you get. Oh, it's great. It's like, what am I going to power up next? Oh, let me power up my side cannons. But the power ups, like I said, they're very subtle. So it's like, oh, I want more. Let me go play. Let me go back to level 1, grind some more, get some more stars, upgrade my weapon. Then I can move on to the next level. You see how it works? Let me grind a little more. It's like some shooters are impossible. You get to a certain point and you're like, oh. Well, you get up to a boss and you're like, it was nerve-wracking getting to this guy. And I got to do this again? Where in Skyforce, it's like, you didn't get there? No big deal. I'll go back to this level. Now I'm more powerful. I'll go back there and I'll fuck everybody up. Fantastic. And I'll get rewarded with coins. I'll upgrade my ship. And then I'll take another chance at this guy over here. Oh, a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Guys, this is a highly recommended game. Yeah, Skyforce. That's right. Skyforce Anniversary. You put that in your pipe and you smoke on it, all right? You just tuned in to the greatest video game program in the history of human civilization. And you better believe that. With a 4K face! See you next time.